Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, you are the host.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Good morning.
Okay, yeah, good morning. All right. Welcome to Team Consultancy Live section, weekly weekly section.
Can you quickly mute
Okay.
your Discord? Can you mute your Discord?
Okay, is this
Mute
still?
your mic on Discord.
Oh, that was why I was having echo, right? Is it okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Good
Yes, please.
morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
everyone. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Shola. It's good to be here with you this morning. All right. Um, this is Team Consultancy Weekly Live section. And today, like we all know, this meeting, this section holds every Thursday just to update international students on the necessary things needed for their preparation for UK studies. Yes, for every stage of their UK studies. This section is actually supposed to use to prepare them to get to know every details of things that they are required to know from the very beginning of school selection, course selection, to getting documents ready, to writing their SOP, and then down to the processing of the document, and then down to every other information that is required to be known. All right, so today we'll be talking about personal statements. Like we know the stage, Mr. Sheila, I think I'm messing up everything.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so today we'll be talking about personal statements. So one of the documents required for a student to get ready when preparing to go to UK for a study is called personal statement or statement of purpose. And this document is very vital because it contains, okay, it enables the admissions to know your abilities, to know your previous educational background and work experience, and link it to your future career. And then link it to your future career. So this stage is you are expected to really put in your very best. Yes, you're expected to put in your very best at this stage, at the writing of the personal statement, because that would actually help the admissions to know that, okay, all you claimed that you have previously acquired are real. And in this stage,
Yeah.
if you fail to really sell yourself properly well, you might find it very difficult to scale through the admission process, and offer letter might be very difficult to come by. So I would like my colleague here, Mr. Shola, to really give us more insight on what is obtained or obtainable when writing SOP. Mr. Shola, please, can you take us through?
Okay, once again, good morning. Uh, so, personal statement is very, very important. One of the very important documents students must write by themselves and they must submit to their admissions when they are applying to a particular university. So the admissions department expects to know if the applicant is very well prepared to come to their university, and they also want to know if the student is genuine, if the student is genuinely interested, and if the student is likely to succeed on that particular course that the student is applying for. So these are things that they want to see, that they want to know when reading a student's personal statement. So as a student, you need to, when you're writing a personal statement, you need to calm down. You need to properly arrange your personal statement. You need to discuss your work experience, talk about your academic background, talk about the things you've learned so far, you know, before you apply. You talk about the course, you talk about how the course will benefit you, and a lot more. So it has to be well arranged, properly arranged, and it needs to show that you actually know what you're doing. You know about the course, you know about the university, and you need to also tell them how that particular course is going to benefit you at the end of the program. So those are the things that needs to align. You can take them one by one if you want to take them one by one, but those are the things that needs to be in the personal statement when submitting an application to a particular university. So students need to take notes of these things very, very well before submitting an application to any school. Because if a student submits a wrong personal statement, it can affect the whole admission process, and they can either send it back to the student to rewrite, or they can cancel the application. So it needs to be taken very, very seriously when writing a personal statement. I think you're muted. You're muted.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shola. So, Mr. Shola just gave us the whole summary of what is obtainable when writing an SOP. That's the statement of purpose. So, I will take us through the steps that you would have to, or the steps that admissions considers when they look at your SOP. So, your SOP are actually being read by real humans. They don't just randomly pass it through. Yes, they sit down and they consider if the student is genuinely ready for this study. Like, we know what is going on presently. Like, every student wants to just find a way to, like we call it in Nigeria, jackpot, right? Every student just wants another country to go and explore. So, but while going to UK, they sit down, they take their time to ensure that the student has a good intention for wanting to study. Are you really interested in the course, or you are just going for excursion or something else? So the admissions would sit down to look at your academic readiness. Are you ready? Is the student ready to handle the course content? Like, have you been through the course content that you intend to go for, and you have seen that this aligns with your career and this is what you really want to do before you can proceed with it? Because when they are going through this and they see that the course content is not having anything to do with your previous career and then what you claim to want to achieve with the course, that's a no for you at that point already. So on the other hand, what's your motivation? Like, what is your drive for wanting to go for this particular course, right? And then, why do you choose UK of all destinations? Like, there are lots of destinations where students go to study nowadays, and choosing UK, you should be able to defend yourself, and then also be able to defend the school. Why the school? Like, why did I go for the school? Does the goals you have already stated, does it align to your future career? Is it something that is achievable for you at the end of the course? Those are the things that admission teams would clearly go through. And then your genuine intent as well for the study. Like, do I really want to study? Do I have other motives? Do I have other things to achieve aside from, okay, the word achieve might not really align well, but do I have other ulterior motive aside going to the UK to study. Those are the things they would clearly go through. They would make sure that they are all aligning to your your intent for going to study in the UK. Then, as well, when writing the SOP, you are expected to, my colleague already said it, you're expected to make sure that the SOP are arranged properly. For example, you are not expected to put your goals before introduction, before your previous achievements, before your previous academic background. So the way you arrange them matters. It shows that you know what you are doing well, one, and then you are detailed about your career process, about previous things you've encountered and things that you want to go through eventually. So on that end, there are also mistakes that students tend to make along the way, like a lot of mistakes. Students feel it doesn't matter. Students just randomly go to the internet and copy sort of informations and then paste it on their SOP. That's statement of purpose, thinking that it doesn't matter. It's just to just write something. Just make sure you write something that is readable and submit it and you are ready to go. No, there are mistakes that students make as a result of not being very detailed, not being very prepared when wanting to go to UK to study. So your preparedness, your readiness, your good intention, your like everything gets to display eventually on your SOP. Everything gets to play out on your SOP. So when you are not well prepared, when you are not well ready, organized for the whole thing, it would show. It would show on your SOP. So on this part, I don't know, Mr. Shola, do you have something to say about it? Do you have something to say concerning some mistakes that students get to make eventually as a result of writing their SOP when they are not ready or when they just randomly put
Yes,
some
yes,
stuff
yes,
together? Yes, thank you very much.
yes. You said some of them already. Grammatical errors is also part of it. Your English, your writing must be very good, and English must be spelt well. So, and then student, you don't as a student, you don't need to include personal details that are irrelevant. There are some things I've seen a lot of things in the SOPs that personally I will have to remove them by myself because what you're saying is not relevant to what the university is asking you to talk about. You can't be writing a personal statement and be talking about your mother in the hospital bed. You're talking about your father somewhere on the farm, and you're talking about things that are not those things are totally out of point. So those irrelevant personal details must not be included in the personal statements, and then grammar must be well put to place, and then students must also explain how your experience connect to the course. That must be inside your personal statement as a student. You must explain how how your experience, your work experience so far connect with the course you are going for. Very, very important. So those things must be, you must not make that mistake of not putting those things in your personal statements as a student. Those things must be there. Why you chose the course, it must be there. You cannot write a personal statement without writing why you're choosing the course and how without talking about the modules of the course. Talking about the modules of the course means that you have gone to the school's website, you have made your research, you have gone through the modules, then you align how those modules will help you during your study or help your career goals. So those are the things that those are the kind of mistake that students should not make. Those things must be in your SOP. Why you chose the course, talk about your course modules, the skills that you will develop during the course, the skills that you will develop during the program are also very important, and explain how those things will align with your future goals. So those things must be accurate and must be in the SOP. Those mistakes must not be made. Why you chose the course, why you chose the school, the university, how it will align with your career goals. Those things must be put in place and properly arranged in the SOP, just like you said. So those are part of the mistakes that people make, that students make. They don't put some of those things in the SOP. They just write, you just write something that comes to their head. They don't make their research. They don't go online. They don't go to the school's website to get information. So those things are very, very important. And then copy and paste is not good. They expect that the university expect that you should write something from your head. So as a student, even if you get information online, you can write them in your own words and put them in your personal statement. So those are part of the mistakes that students make when writing SOP, and those things should be corrected.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Shola. So, Mr. Shola, I've really said a lot, but then I want to point out this, that when writing SOP, there is number of characters expected, right? For UCAS, mostly you expected 4,000 words, while through application process, that's admissions, you are expected to have 2,500 words. So, like a very standard SOP, personal statement for school application should not be more than 2,500 characters. And then for UCAS, it shouldn't be more than 4,000 characters. So those things should be put into place. And then grammatical errors. Yes. Because how do you want to prove to an admission in UK that you passed your WAEC with C6 and there are lots of grammatical errors on your SOP?
Errors.
That would sell you out automatically. Yes, so those are things you as well. You should check your grammar. Make sure that words are put into the right grammar is put closely next to the other ones, and then typographical error. Yes, you might be like, oh, I just have 5 minutes to do this. I have work in office work. I have other house chores. Like you have a lot of things around you and you have to get everything done. And in other words, you um just anyhow just you just don't pay attention when you are writing your SOP. So your statement of purpose, it's not accepted. You are expected to sit down, like really make a lot of research. Yes, that's one of the reasons why students don't like to do precast interview, because they don't get to sit down to do research. And this SOP really help you a lot.
Yes.
When you are able to write your SOP properly well, it simply shows that you've really researched about the school, you've researched about the country, you've researched about the course. So writing your SOP is not just something you wake up one morning and you just want to put down. So your grammatical, your typo is also part of it. Your typo should be put into considerations. In other words, you're expected to take out a good number of time to do that. You're expected to sit down, make sure you are settled, make sure you are not in a haste, you are not hurrying to a place, or you have one other something to catch up with. So in short, to write your personal statements calmly and cross check over and over again from beginning down. Ensure that your grammars are correct before you eventually document it. And then so I just want us to quickly talk about checklist. What When you are going through your SOP, you have done the research, you have done your writing, every other thing. Now it's time for you to check your SOP to see if you are in alignment with what is expected by the admissions, right? So I just want us to go through it step by step. Yes, then Universities expect you to first be name specific, right? Your name is there, the name of the school is there. Even if you are to put your previous educational or your previous school of study, you have to put not my former school. You have to be name specific. Everything needs to be properly listed on your SOP. And then past experience, your course choice, and your clear goal. You don't just assume in your head that because you already put the course you want to go for. In other words, the admissions should assume that because they already know a lot of people that have passed through this part, right? They should know that this is also what you are going there to do. No, you have to say your own career goal. Like I and my colleagues, we are both counselors, right? But we have different goals that we have to achieve, and we have okay for we have a the same goal to achieve, but we have a clear different ways to achieve it. So all those things are things you need to make the admissions understand. Then the character remit, like I already said, the number of words you have to check, count your characters to see if it's in alignment and all. And then consistent tense and voice throughout. That is the tone that you use for the writing have to be consistent all through. You don't start with different mood, like we call it, and then end up with another mood just because somebody got you angry. And then you just switch to another mood and it reflects on your writing. So, Mr. Shola, I would like you to give us other lists that is supposed to be checked while concluding your SOP. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we've mentioned some of them before, and like you said, introduction must be there. Introduction and motivation must be there. Then your academic background. Talk about your academic background. Talk about connect your background directly to the course that you're applying for, and then talk about your work experiences, where you've worked before, what did you do where you worked, what did you learn from where you worked, and is how is it related to the course that you're applying for. So, for example, you want to do you studied you studied French, or you studied a different course in your degree, and then you want to apply for nursing as a student. So you see, it doesn't align. So those things need to be very, very sure of the particular course you're going, because your background must align with the course you are going for in the university. So the work experience matters. Then you go to why did you choose the course? Talk about why you chose the course. Why what sparked your interest in choosing that course? Why do you want to study it now? Why are you coming to our universities to study the course now after 5 years, after 6 years of graduation? So those things must also be there in your SOP as a student. Then why did you choose the university? Talk about the ranking of the university. Talk about the student support of the university. You can talk about, so that's the area where students get to make more research. Talk about the ranking, the student support of the university, the facilities, and a whole lot of things about the university. Bring out concise reasons why you want to study in the UK. So align those things properly, and then talk about your career goals, short and long career goals. Explain your short-term goals, explain your long-term ambitions, and how the course is going to help you to achieve that particular career goal. So those are the things. Then you can conclude at the end of the SOP. You can put your conclusions at the end of the SOP, and that will be all. So those things must come one after the other till you get to the conclusion part of the SOP. So that's basically all about it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I was. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Shola. Thank you for the time. Thank you for. So, in conclusion, I would just like us to understand that January intake is presently approaching. Yes. As we round up for September intake, we're already switching to January intake, and we want every student out there to know that you can always send a DM. Yes, if you need help from the very beginning of your UK study quest to the very end, which is your visa issuing, that we can be of help. Yes, we can be of help. So you can just send a DM if you need help, and we'll be here to attend to you. Yes, we are available anytime we can, and we are willing to help you. So if you need help with your SOP, like my colleague here, Mr. Shola, is very good at SOP. Yes, it will shock you that he's a very good writer of SOP. So he can put you through everything you need to know about your SOP. So you don't need to worry. You don't have any reasons to fidget when it comes to writing or SOP. And as well, you can reach out to for a step-by-step guide, right? Yes, you can reach out for a step-by-step guide because it's very important you know how it's been written. It's important you know what is contained in your SOP so that you don't get scared when you hear precast interview, because that's all you need for your precast interview. What is contained in your personal statement is all you need for your precast interview. So when you have it all covered, you would not have any reason to be scared when you are called upon for any form of precast interview, no matter the school, no matter how difficult their precast interview seems to be. As long as you're already taking your time, sit down and sort out everything that concerns your personal statement, you'll be able to write any form of precast interview, even UKVI interview, if case may be. So you can reach out, send a DM, and then we'll be here to attend to you. All right, guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being attentive to our weekly section, and we'll be here again next week, same time next week Thursday, and we'll be glad
Yeah.
if you did join us. Thank you so much, Mr. Shala. You can say farewell to our viewers.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye everyone.